This is Grayman Media content.
This portion of Down to Earth is sponsored by Transistor FM. Transistor provides podcast hosting and analytics for thousands of organizations, brands, and creatives around the world. They even offer detailed analytics at all levels and can even provide a simple website for your podcast. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast, click the link in the description or go to graymanmediaco.com to get started today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that favorite show that I never ever do. It's Down to Earth. And today, my very special guest, we were actually just talking about what I am to you. We're not really sure about that. Not your boss, not a father figure, friend maybe, but outside of the context of the podcast, we've never hung out.
Yeah, lover.
Yeah, lovers, and a crazy thing that you just said to me. I can't believe it. Anyway, Ben, who are you? Who the fuck are you for all these people listening, watching?
My name is Benjamin Von Jake Slusher, born December 15th, 2004. I like long walks on the beach.
What else?
That's about it, really.
Any single ladies, so... Right, you're single, right?
That we can talk about that later.
Okay.
So I've been wanting to do this show since before I even did Thoughts from the Mothership.
Yep.
I've wanted to be on the show for a minute. And the first time I did Thoughts was over 2 years ago.
Yeah, what episode number was that?
34 was my first episode.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
Yeah, relatively.
I think I have like 5 episodes now or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and every single time has been wildly entertaining.
I think, honestly, I didn't like one of the episodes we did. It was like last summer.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
The
But
vibe was off?
by the way, I don't think the one we did like a month and a half ago is even up yet.
It's not.
All right.
Yeah, that's how far ahead we are.
I just love hearing my own voice.
Yeah.
I just gotta.
This one will probably come out right around the time that one does. I don't know where in that one. Jessica, do you remember if that one was before or after Christian? She's plugged in. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Dude has a whole ass notepad.
Yeah, bro. I'm ready. I figure we probably won't touch the majority of my questions just because you're a pretty good talker. A lot of people get on this show and they get freaked out and they're a little bit more quiet. I'm not as worried, but I do have questions prepared just in case.
Yeah. We're could for sure get into that in a minute. I think I have a good frame of what we will probably lead into be talking about. Because I know this is like supposed to be more of like an in-depth personal one-on-one conversation.
It is. Yeah.
And I purposely, like, this is a really hard decision for me to make, but I purposely thought, like, I'm not going to try and think of anything ahead. I'm just going to let it flow out.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, right?
I would think so, but that's so, like, anti-me.
Unless you come on here and, like, the actual purpose is, like say you were, like, starting up a company or something like that. And then the goal would obviously, we'd focus on that a lot. But I don't think that's really anything that you don't need to be advertising yourself, right? Yeah.
I'm good.
You're probably pretty marketable anyway with all the things that you do, right? Fucking MMA, fucking the other things that you do.
The other things.
Right? I always want to say nurse, but that's not right.
No,
right?
It would be PCA. So
which is
imagine what a nurse, it's basically a nursing assistant. So whenever a nurse is busy, I basically do anything a nurse can do except shoot up people with drugs.
Sick.
And that's why the nurses get busy, is because people,
busy.
they need their drugs, dog. No, I'm not joking. This is like real shit.
No, I believe you.
Like
I believe you.
100% real. Like, like 100% honest.
It's just wild. It's just wild to me that there's a whole job that exists because nurses are too busy to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Because there's drugs to be administered. That's wild.
So
you clean shit? You do, don't you?
Occasionally.
What's the end goal? Is the end goal to become a nurse?
No, hell no.
What the fuck? What are you doing then? What are you doing?
Winging it. No. No, I want to do firefighting EMT. That's always been what I wanted to do. But I'm getting the fuck out of Louisville when I do that. I'm not doing that shit here.
Where are you trying to go?
I'm thinking Knoxville, Tennessee. They hire. You don't have to be 21 to work there. No income tax, and that's just the area I want to work in. Like Great Smoky Mountains is right there, so I'll have plenty of work, and I just like being out in nature. So that's cool. And
Yeah.
it's like I think it's like the second or third most populated city, so it's like still a city, but like right outside of it is just nature.
How long have you known that you wanted to do that?
3 days? No, I'm joking. Knoxville specifically,
Yeah.
probably like a year.
Okay.
But I've known I wanted to get the fuck out of this place because people get stuck here.
Oh yeah, big
They
time.
get kids, they get bills,
Uh-huh.
they get bitches. I mean, wives.
Almost all of the people that I grew up with are here.
Mhm.
There's only a handful of friends that I have. I could probably count on one hand who left.
Nick.
Maybe two hands. I forgot all about Nick.
No way.
Yeah, I got a call with him later tonight.
Like, what do you mean?
I have a bi-weekly call with him.
Bi-weekly?
Mhm.
Like, for a show or?
No,
What are you talking about, bi-weekly? Like,
I gotta keep up with this motherfucker.
you said I have to? Like,
Yeah, I have a scheduled call with my friend bi-weekly.
you said my friend, but I forgot. I talked to him after
Yeah, fuck
14
him. I
days.
don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Nick.
You're gonna call him later. He's gonna be like, this is not acceptable.
I told him earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it down to earth. So I might be a little bit late. This was before I knew I was going to have to work tomorrow. I was like, plan on me being on that call around 9 o'clock. And then Christina fucking, oh, that's fine. I haven't heard nothing from Nick, but I'm sure that he'll be interested to know that it was you.
Do you think he remembers me? For sure.
For sure.
go.
He does. For sure he does.
The hatred that
I-
lives in him.
I don't think so. I think he like last time we talked about you when you were on the show, when you were on Thoughts from the Mothership, he seemed like, because I reported back, like, you seem like you're doing well. You seem like you were progressing you were going down the path you wanted to, and that's kind of what I reported to him. And he seemed happy for you, so
Oh, that's sweet.
I don't think it's coming from a place I hate. I think it's more of a place.
Oh, that's really sweet. Because the only memory I have of that guy is him punching a metal bowl in backwards.
Yeah, he's got some stuff going on.
The issues. He got little man syndrome.
It's okay. It's okay. It's more like little brother syndrome.
We love you, Nick.
Yeah, you're all right. You're okay.
Nick's tight sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but so okay, then how does the MMA thing fit in there?
Okay, so this is, I feel like everything just kind of ties into this like one main subject, but it's just like such a heavy like topic. I don't even know where I would start with it. But basically, around something happened in my life around not last June, I'd say 2022, like May, June, and I was just completely destroyed, and I was just looking for anything to do, like hobbies. So like within 1 month, I started doing like 4 different things, like all the time. So jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, kickboxing specifically. Jiu-jitsu is more, I picked that up more this year. Hiking, I do all the time. And I was like, I'm always doing that. Piano. I picked up piano on that time too. And I'm picking up guitar, but I'm so awful at it.
So what happened? Yeah, like what?
Lady drama.
Lady drama.
Of course.
Okay, gotcha. So,
Yeah.
so the love of your life broke your heart, and you were like, you know what? I'm gonna get fucking ripped. I'm gonna learn to play piano, the sexiest instrument. I'm gonna get out in nature. That's where all the fucking. Is that really where it comes from, or?
Kind of. So I think the whole like nature and fighting thing, that just kind of happened because I was just like, okay, well, what am I gonna do with this life? And it's the most primal things I could think of were those two.
Beating the shit out of people and getting out in nature?
Yeah, dude. Like,
I mean, that's fair.
dude, and this was like right before Liver King blew up. He stole my shit.
You doing steroids, bro?
No. Definitely not.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look roided out, bro. You look fucking swole. Well, that's crazy, man.
Sleeping on a rock.
So what? So how long were you and this chick together?
Not long.
Not long. It's
See,
hard that bad.
this is the only person I've ever dated.
Oh, okay. So it's like a first love kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of. So I've been in love twice.
Okay.
The first time, I never dated this woman. We're very good friends. And something actually happened recently. it was her birthday, and I texted her for the first time in a few months. You know, since like I got out of high school and all that, just being like, "Hey, what's up? Happy birthday? How's it been going?" And I was looking forward to this for like a long time, like probably like a month. I was like, "Oh, it's that time of the year. I can't wait to." Like I'm like that. Like I incrementally like this is gonna come up this month. And whenever she texted back, she was like, "Oh, everything's going great." For some reason, I just didn't text back for like 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no clue why. And this is, by the way, this, like I said, I said this is the first person I fell in love with. There.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with this girl from like freshman year to like probably like beginning of junior year. Just for like a good 2 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
And this person, like, even though we don't talk all the time, like, there's people, like, I haven't seen anybody I'm close to in over a month. That's probably, like, I mean, that's mostly my fault. Like, I can't, like, hold that against anyone. But I'd say there's probably, like, 8 people in total I'm close with. Shit, my bad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find something else to fidget with, buddy.
Yeah, that's a very small circle. Sorry, it's getting awkward.
You're good, man.
And let's see. So that was around junior year, when I was like, all right, well, I'm like, and I still love this person. I think I'm not, I can't say I always will. You know, I'm 18, and I mean, technically, I've known this person since I was like 3.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's, I don't know. I didn't feel like we didn't like really meet until I was in like 7th grade or whatever. That doesn't matter. No, I meant what I'm saying. Not your.
Yeah. No,
you're good.
I didn't think you meant my phone, bro. You're
Okay.
good.
Fuck her. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm like you said, I'm like a really good talker, but see, the Ben you know is like, I mean, it is me, like my character, my social self is like a pretty goofy individual.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah, you're
shit.
You're being vulnerable.
Yes.
You're being vulnerable right now. We're talking about some legit stuff right now that like means something to you, as opposed to you just coming on here and goofing around with us.
Yeah, vulnerability that's like my biggest fear, is like being vulnerable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I say that, and like all the time. That's my biggest fear, is being vulnerable. I think I'm just like super scared of betrayal, so I just kind of like try and
Really?
get that out the way.
Yeah, I wonder what where that comes from. I wonder if that's I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. Sorry, I'm not trying to call you out or anything.
No,
I'm
I'm
really not.
I actually don't know exactly what you mean, because there's a lot of things that come to me.
So something interesting happened to me when my kids started to grow up. It's really hard for me to see like when especially like adults that I know that like have issues, I'm like, oh, that's probably because of this thing that happened to you as a child.
Yes.
Right. And most of us, because nobody ever figures out how to be an adult.
Yes.
We're all just children inside trying to put up a front. And so like your good behaviors and your bad behaviors all stem from your childhood.
Yeah, I think,
Right.
yeah, like when you're a child, you have this misconception that your parents have it all figured out.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time. And then you grow up and you realize, oh, there are people too.
Oh, they had me when they were 16.
Right. They have no fucking clue what's going on. Like they had me when I was my age, and it's just like, yeah, it's wild. So it's just really hard now. Like it's made me more patient. It's made me more like willing to deal with people's bullshit.
I feel like you told me this
A
a couple
lot.
years ago.
Did I?
I
It's
don't
possible.
recall this.
Because it definitely made me more of a patient person. Like being a father in general has already made me patient, because you have to be patient with children, and that just kind of bleeds into everything. But then also when you're looking at somebody who's like, you know, being an asshole, it's like, oh, your dad didn't pay you much attention, did he?
Well, I think this is something I've been trying to like pick up more on, is like a lot of times when people like lash out at you, they're not angry at you. They're angry at something else.
Oh,
Like, for instance, when I come in, let's say I have a friend and I go in their house and they're like, wait, family dinner time. That's what happened before the show.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a really good example because you were right. I wasn't angry at you.
Yeah.
I was angry at my situation, and you just happened to get involved in that moment. And that's 100% right. Yeah, most of the time people, like, what they're really upset about has nothing to do with whatever you did.
Yeah, so I think a big thing I wanted to talk about on this podcast was relationships with people, whether that be strangers, family, friends, lovers, and self. I'm a big believer in this concept. I believe it's a Japanese concept on some scripture somewhere.
Go look it up.
Yeah. Fuck that nation.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Damn, the whole fucking country.
So people, it's the idea that people have 3 faces, and the first face is what you show to strangers. So I truly do believe in common good, but saying that, it's so rare I ever see. But then again, like,
what do you mean by that? Like explain it.
Okay, so today at work, right? I gotta take the shuttle to get to where I need to be. Okay, this might seem like a little pretentious, but like, there's all these, like, all the women are standing on the bus, and all the dudes are just on their phone, just like I don't know, like, it's not necessarily that they have to, give up their spot or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like small thing, or like holding the door for someone, like just. I
to
think,
you, it seems like the right thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not looking for it. I just don't see that often. Just any small gesture, like manners, I guess, common decency.
Yeah. Well, there is that that feedback loop that you get, like when you're looking for something, even if it is the absence of that thing, you tend to see it more.
Yeah.
Like you see, like, I just bought a Cadillac CTS, and then all of a sudden you see a million Cadillacs, right? So to you just see, you don't see it as often, so therefore you're categorizing that as rare.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, so what's the second face then?
The second face is what you show anyone close to you, like loved ones. So
sure,
loved ones, family, and friends. And those could, for me specifically, those go into like subcategories. Like, of course, we all I forgot what it's called, but like we're different people to different people.
Yep.
Code switching. That's what it is. So I might, scratch what I was about to say.
Well, it's like you got friend group A, and that there's a specific type of humor with that group. And it doesn't just apply to humor, but it's just an easy way to kind of convey the message. It's like, what kind of joke you can make with this group versus this group, right?
Yeah, so, how I had like a handful of people, I think I would say the number's 8 that are like, I would consider close to me. All those people fall in the category of like friends or ex-lovers. Like, I have no family ties whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think, like, even a couple years ago when I was working at Noodles, like, I like maybe talked about it like once, but because it took me forever to realize. It took me, it just took me a while to realize that my situation was not normal. Like, this is something I've been struggling with a lot. Friends, like, my friends. Because I don't have a family, my friends are my family to me. And they're very close. Like, I'd say they're very close to me. However, they all have loving families. So it's not necessarily that I don't want them to have loving families. It's just the fact that I know that feeling could never be reciprocated because they already have that.
Right. Do you know that, like, the majority of people who you worked with are also those kind of people? And we all knew.
Oh, really?
You didn't talk to us about it,
God.
But we all knew.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
We talked about it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, big
You're
time.
like, Ben got big mommy daddy issues.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It wasn't like a knock against you. It was just like he's still not aware that whatever it is that's bothering him, like, we could tell. It was very clear.
That's super interesting because I didn't even know at the time.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That it's not, it hasn't become apparent to you yet.
That's actually, that's like kind of endearing. Like, oh, they're talking about me. But now it's like, damn, that's.
We just pay. We just pay the minimal amount of attention that it would.
Is that why I get free noodles now?
No, I think everyone gets free noodles.
By the way, I went there. I went there recently with Noodle Ninja.
Okay.
We've only met once and we're best friends. Like we talked about the new Olivia Rodrigo album when it came out. Like we're just buddies now.
Wow.
And we went on our first date to Noodles.
Wow.
And the dude charged us like $3. So fuck that. Even though he paid for me. Drew paid for me. Shout out Drew. It was the bald dude. Austin. Yeah. Him. He was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was like, "Dude, I've heard about you. It's like so much." Okay, I need to go back to what I was talking about.
Yeah. What's the third face, man?
The third face is self.
Okay.
So there's always no one is completely open unless you have like Down syndrome. But even then, you could have a hard time getting those words out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
the point of these faces is that they're sides you don't show other faces.
of course.
So there's a lot of guilt I would like to get out on this podcast. Like a year and a half worth of just like.
Oh, you want to
dump.
vent?
I want to trauma dump. What's that show you had where it was like 5-minute rants?
Yeah, people rants. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. You just want to do that.
No, yeah, I'm here to trauma dump on you.
That's cool, man. That's cool. You're here to trauma dump on me, and then like the 15 people who will watch this.
15. You think that's my like real estate on this show?
I don't think that has anything to do with you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
it definitely has a lot to do with who my audience is.
Yeah. They're like,
This is probably our least popular show.
you're like, yeah, you're gonna like send to the Noodles group chat. Guys, Ben finally opened up to his family drama.
Yeah, I will, and then they're not gonna watch it still.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you know about like my Instagram. I have like a lot of quote unquote lore or whatever. And
His Instagram is one of the most wild fucking things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Every single post, every single story is literally an adventure, and I don't know how to feel ever
it's
about
like, and it looks like I'm an insane person. And
Uh-huh.
While I was making most of those, I
Yeah.
think I kind of was.
it. Yeah, I believe you.
But it's very like they're not. A lot of them aren't up right now. Maybe they will be after this. I don't know. They're very crucial. I just needed something to get out of that. Something that was just so like just weighed on me so hard.
Mhm.
I'll get to more of the details of that situation later, and that kind of like wraps up. Like everything kind of fits into that one big story.
Sure.
But what was I just saying?
We were talking. Well, I don't know if you finished your thought about the different faces and what
Yes.
that means.
So this is gonna start out this big chunk of story with my family specifically. I am not close with either of my parents or my siblings. I lived with my mother up until I was 12, because I was just, like I got visits with my dad, but sorry, when I say dad and mom, I'm going to mean mother and father because they are not that to me.
Right.
When I view people as dad and mom, as crazy as it may seem, it might be like people like you, like dad, like
You mean you
just
you more,
anyone that has an impact on me.
right? Whereas
that.
mother and father, you're assigning to like a paternal kind of thing.
Yes, that's a biological. You
Yeah.
can't change mother and father. But
Right.
mom and dad, like I had 3 teachers in high school that were great mom figures to me.
Right.
And it's just basically who you want, like not necessarily who you want to be, their influences or like and I didn't live with my father until I was 12. There was a lot of abuse, like physical abuse, and that's what made me move over to my father's house.
Mhm.
And it wasn't like my choice. It's not that I wouldn't have, because at the time you don't really know.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of physical abuse, and I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm not here to like bash or whatever.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Right?
It's crazy that you're still gone.
Okay. And my relationship with my father is we're like roommates.
Yeah.
We don't have a relationship. Like I can't imagine my dad being like, "Hey son, want to go bowling?
Right.
Want to go to the movies?"
Right.
Like it's just not like that. We just don't have a relationship like that. And it is kind of like now that I'm all grown up and I'm now, well, I'm not all grown up, you know, like you think
Air
you are,
quotes.
yeah,
Yeah.
an adult. But knowing that I missed out on so much like crucial shit that like I'm going back and doing that by myself,
Yeah.
like building Legos or
Yeah.
like I learned how to ride a bike when I was 17.
Mhm.
Like I promised myself I wouldn't look at my phone, because I have like that's what I brought my Instagram. So my Instagram's pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
I write a lot. I write. That's how I just get my thoughts out, and I'll permanently have them in my phone. I think I have like over 500 notes now, of just like writings. And I was actually reading one of them before I came in here, because when you said family dinner, it made me think of something I wrote, in like April of this year. It was something about, it was just like struggles I had as a little kid, like eating family dinner. I'm gonna try and quote the lines. Eating family dinner with Teddy at my little Tykes table. That was a line that like that's why it stuck out to me. And there's more to that writing, like hanging my head from pasta necklaces. Or
This is just like poetry kind of
kind
stuff.
of, yeah. I try not to put a label on it, or like my imagination came to life through Crayola and printer paper. Stuff like just things I have out. I'm like, there's gaps in what I'm saying because it's not right in front of me.
Right.
But it's like just now realizing that I don't have any like it took me this many years to realize that like I'm completely on my own. So there is some sort of, I wouldn't say self-made. No one's self-made. There's influences for everyone. But it is kind of knowing that what I do have, I wouldn't say I would say I'm made for myself, but I wouldn't have been able to make those things for myself without people like you, like getting my first job at Noodles and Company. I built up that money and got a car, and you just keep building off. Like, I'm sure you probably realize this, but in what your job was, it's like a foundation. Giving someone a job, especially at such a young age, it's like my first job, it's a foundation for just building the rest of my life. Financially speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm getting lost.
So, well, actually, before we kind of breeze through the topic, you know, you're kind of, you know, building Legos. We'll just use that as a term.
Yeah.
You see,
I buy that.
yeah, absolutely. But do you see all this?
Yeah.
Like, am I nothing but like a giant fucking kid trying to make up for lost time? Like, I totally understand, man. 110%.
Dad?
110%. And where I used to write a lot, Redwood.
Right.
Thank you.
Lickety split.
Yeah. Where I used to write a lot, now what I do is, and I did it on my 29th birthday for the first time, and then ever since then I've tried to make it kind of like as often as I can, but I'll just set up just like this, and I'll just kind of ramble a little bit. And it's more of like a lot of people think, but they don't think, you know? And because like the true, I think Jordan Peterson was talking about it. I think that might be where I heard it. Fucking sorry that I listened to him. He was talking about how in order to actually think, you have to kind of like create avatars in your own mind and then have an argument that might go against what you think is best. That way you can kind of feel that entire process out, right? I'm not very good at it. So what I do is I'll try to get on here and the first one I was like, you're going to die. Like, that's not something you want to really talk about right now, but you're going to die, right?
Yes.
And I started doing that. So that's kind of one of the things that I've been doing. But as far as your, you know, foundation thing goes, Pops wasn't so good for me either. Neither was my stepdad, and my mom neither. But like all of them, I took the bad and I took the good, and I applied those lessons to me now. And like, yeah, I'm obviously trying to make up for lost time with like, you know, being a kid, playing Minecraft all fucking day, playing Legos, all the stuff, right? You still learn those lessons. Like my stepfather was a really hard worker, but emotionally unavailable. So I took the hardworking aspect I was like, that's what it means to be a man, is to provide for the family. But also that clearly didn't work, not only with my mother, but also with us. Like that didn't work for us. So like be more emotionally available. So I think that you're right when you say you wouldn't be who you are without those interactions, even the negative ones. 100%.
I think that kind of lubes us up for this big glob.
Perfect. Listen to these ads. Go ahead. Now that we're back.
All right. So, and for anyone watching this that may like know who I am personally, if you're one of those few 8, or if you're not and you just know who I am, all those like Instagram posts or whatever has been plaguing my mind for the past year and a half. This is like it. I've never just come out and said it all. So let's start. So like I said, I got my had a girlfriend, my first girlfriend, and so for my only girlfriend, so far. And it wasn't even like a long relationship. And it's crazy because she is one of those 8 people that I think about every day, and I still love in a certain way. But I'm not coming on here to like be like, come back to me. Come back. Take me back.
I'll be better.
Embarrassing. I'm just I know she's like off to college now. Hope you're doing good. Make some mistakes. Learn from them. Fuck some dudes you wish you didn't. You know how it is. Pull it in.
Nice, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So after it was actually before we even split. I wouldn't say we split. She fucking destroyed me. It wasn't a mutual thing at all, and it's
Were
embarrassing.
you blindsided?
What does that mean?
Like, could you tell it was kind of coming to an end, or did it kind of come for you anyway?
I was just about to get into that.
Oh,
So
okay.
before we even quote unquote split, I remember dates. I think autism brain. Some of my friends say. So I remember the exact date was April 23rd, 2022. And that was the beginning. I started to have these ideations of more. It was kind of the family thing we were just talking about, and that's when I like started. I remember that date. That's when I was like, "My whole life's a lie." Like I was just kind of freaking out. And I didn't tell this woman anything about that. And that's probably a big mistake. I probably should have. But it was that moment I was like, well, okay, well, I'm not gonna tell her anything about this, what I'm feeling right now, and all this thing I'm finding out. Cause she, then again, we've only been dating for like a month by now, sorry, one second. I'm like hearing my voice, and it's like I'm saying this out loud, and I've never done this.
Right. Have you even said it out loud, like yourself?
No.
Okay.
No. Like I've said it in my head to myself.
Right.
Several times. Like a lot of times when I go to sleep, I like try and talk myself to sleep in my head, and this is a thing I've kind of been trying to like stomach out. So I didn't say anything about it, and so I use my accounts, whatever, my Instagram as like expression, or my notes as expression, and she could definitely, I know she could definitely tell something was like different after that day, or maybe it wasn't that day, but something leading up to it, and this was just like the start. It built up so much, and eventually, I'll actually tell you how it was. It was the last day of school. She gave one of those mother figures I was telling you about, just a bag of my shit to give to me.
Damn.
And didn't hear anything from her.
Damn.
That's a big reason why it wrecked me, is because like,
you didn't get any kind of closure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, I was unclosurable. That's not a word, but like,
yeah, no,
like
I get it.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I was trapped. Like, I didn't know a reason. Still don't. Unless it was this, but whatever. So it was just so brutal, and there was like no remorse. and there was no conversation, and I'm not like saying this on here to be like, woe is me, feel
Right.
bad for me. This is like, I just need to get this out of my system. So that happened, and so this is the start of summer. Like, that's the first day off, and I was like, okay, well, I'm
Of senior year, like you just
junior
finished.
year.
Junior year. Sorry.
Yes, this was the end of junior year.
Got it.
You're sorry. I was thinking like you're a grown man talking to me about my high school teenage petty drama.
Hey, man, whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, I can't really pretend to be older than I am, so.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So that happened. That's when I started. So there was like a little gap. The exact day was May 26th. That was the last day of school. So there was a little gap between that and June 1st. June 1st was the day I started getting into kickboxing, and I bought my piano later that month, or keyboards. I have a couple keyboards and a guitar, or whatever. So there was like probably like a few days, and my parents were actually out of town. My parents were out of town for several weeks, actually. So I was just alone, sitting on this outcome, and I didn't have these hobbies yet. And I remember I went to Walgreens, and I bought like 5 bottles of melatonin, like 10 milligrams. And I was, because I was just like, shit, I gotta kill time. So I like wasted like a full week. Like, I don't remember shit. Like, I was just asleep, and it wasn't even good sleep because I didn't need it. I was like, it was, and I don't do any medication at all. I've never touched a fucking actually, no. I lit your cigarette one time. I'm not, we can cut that.
I was like, Ben, no, you didn't. No, that you did do. I do remember
Yeah,
that.
I'm not gonna say how.
But I thought you were like, gonna tell me you smoked a cigarette once. I was
No.
like, I don't believe you.
No. I'm so bad. Energy out here.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've never, not even like caffeine. Like, don't drink coffee, energy drinks, none of that shit. Like, I'm a very like, I guess natural.
Sure.
Natty, if you will.
That was so
Fucking
bad.
stupid.
That was so
I'm
bad.
sorry.
What did you do? You just slept the whole 2 weeks, basically? Just slept the whole 2 weeks away?
No, it was like probably a week before I was like, fuck, and I was like, okay, I need to do something because I'm so unproductive. Like, I'm not even killing time at this point because like, and it's like I was so wrecked emotionally, and this was so like foreign to my mind that the few hours a day I was up, constantly crying, like constantly, like it's ridiculous, like coughing on my, like I wouldn't even say all my own words because I was alone, like I wasn't talking to anyone. So that's how I got all these hobbies. Is I was like, I need to do something with my life right now, like right now. I can't keep doing this. But while I was still like picking up these hobbies, I was still like feeling that emotional pain. And that's how all these like Instagram posts and it's so embarrassing looking back on it, but it was truly what I was feeling. I was so distraught, and I got to this point to where I started having these ideations of, I never wanted to die. But whenever I try, like, so I'm finding all this shit out, my family and my first girlfriend ever. In my mind, I've always thought, like, first, like, I don't want a second. Like, I don't like the idea of a first because that implies a second. I just want to be one and done. That's, like, it's such an immature way to think, but it's just truly, when you're, like, 17, that's still a little bit to wait. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But whatever. For my time frame, it is. So like, normally it's just some shit, like, you'd want to, like, talk to your friends about. And, like, the family things and breakups and all that. And, you know, like, every time someone talks about suicide, they always say, just reach out. And I was like, okay, I'm going to reach out. And this isn't about death. This is about just my embarrassing emotional shit that I just needed to get off my chest. And I kept reaching out and kept reaching out. but no one would ever pick up in this very small group. So that kind of flipped a switch in me, and I thought, okay, I know in myself I do not want to die, but I want these people that I care so much about to feel the same pain that they're causing me.
Oh, that's fucking dark. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Take me there. Where are we going next?
Dude, that took me so long. Like, just saying it out loud, it's like ridiculous just because this has been in my brain for so long. And I'm not there anymore. We'll get to that. There's a conclusion.
Right. Yeah,
like, even being able to say it out loud, I wouldn't say it out loud if I wasn't.
I don't. Yeah.
So I wanted these people to feel the same hurt that they're causing me. But I would never, ever physically hurt someone without, like, unless it was like an MMA fight or whatever. Right. But like, I have no violence towards any human. I would never do that. So where do I go now? I was in this state for a little over a year. I remember the day I got out of it was May 2nd of this year. And the way so I'll probably backtrack and go back to this big year gap in a minute, but I can't think of what to say right now, so I'm going to go to the conclusion on why it's fine right now. And hopefully for a while. Is my first friend I ever made. I met her when I was 3, and it was the first day of preschool. We have a photo together. I haven't talked to this kid in like 10 years. I remember the last time I saw him was at a cross-country meet. And he passed away. And it wasn't necessarily, like, I've to this day, I've never even, like, cried over it. Like, it's not something that, like I haven't seen this kid in a while. It's just something that, like, to think about. So I kind of, for a couple days, I found this out, by the way, it was prom day. I didn't go to prom. I didn't want to. But I found out that night, and I have a really good writing about it, but we don't have to get into that. There's a lot of, like, coincidences around his death. But he passed away, and I took a few days to sit on it. I didn't, like, go to school, hardly, like, looked at my phone. I didn't even want to, like, leave my bed. I wasn't necessarily sad. I just needed to think about it. And it made me realize that this is my life, and I shouldn't be trying to dedicate whatever I do to this ex-girlfriend or these friends of mine that don't seem to pick up or that I don't care to reach out to for some reason. Or like these very few people I hold close to me. Like, they're still everything to me. They're my world, but I need to have something for myself. And like that's like MMA, like all that. It's like, it's not about glory to me. It's just it's a challenge for myself. Or like hiking when I'm alone. I don't like really going hiking with people. I'm just alone with myself. And it's just like, you just kind of feel your truest self. So I came to the realization that, like, this is my life, and I don't need to, like, live it for anyone else. Especially because I'm still young. These people that I consider so close to me probably aren't going to be around. Most of them aren't. But then again, like I said, it's like, this is my timeline. So right now they are. And if I had the idea that it was ending soon, then that would just, like I said, I never wanted to die. It's just knowing that they felt the hurt that they could cause me. After I think of these people every day. I think of them hourly. I would say minutely, but that's after this day, like, realizing that's not the case anymore. But definitely hourly. I think of all these 8 individual people all the time. 4 boys, 4 girls. Like, and not even like a romantic relationship with the girls entirely. It's just like these people that meant something to me or mean something to me. And I haven't talked to most of them in a couple months. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of like in a weird limbo state. You know how so I'm going to backtrack. Like I said, I wasn't, like I said, I never wanted to die, But and I kind of the way I eased into it is I made up this idea in my head of that there is a perfect place just for me, like where everyone I care about feels the same way about me that I feel about them, which is so unrealistic. But or like this is gonna sound like so like Jaden Smith, but like the economy was like all like mom and pop shops. It's just like my perfect world. I called it. I had a few names for it. Doesn't matter. But it's basically what some people would consider heaven. And I knew this place wasn't real. It's just I tried to live in that space when I was in my own head, just to like be warm up to the idea of this is where you can go to. And then I started thinking. So I started relating it. So I think of metaphors a lot. It's just how my brain works. And I started relating it to the idea of being a ghost. Like I really got into the vibe a little bit. Like I dyed my hair black so my skin would be paler. Like it would appear paler. Like I really got into this idea of I'm going to be a ghost, and I can, like, while I'm dead, these people I hold so close to me can think about the pain like I'm causing them, and like I could haunt these people. And I just felt so, I don't know if I'd say powerful. I would never view it like that, but I
You
just
didn't
wanted
feel powerless.
it's really, this is what it is. I wanted them to be thinking about me all the time because they weren't thinking about me before. That's what it was. I thought if I died, then they could finally think about me. And maybe they'd have some sort of regret. And let's see. Yeah, and I kind of realized that it's not necessarily that, like, even like I knew I wasn't gonna be a ghost. That's just like the idea I thought of. But this, like, I still feel like there would be, like, even if it was possible to be a ghost, there'd be like a reverse grieving. Like, I know, like, I'm not going to be watching these people move on from me, but it felt like I was watching them move on from me while I was already alive.
Right.
Because during that period, that year period, like, of not reaching out to people, or like when I did, I didn't pick them up. And I honestly feel like there were a couple people in that circle that I actually scared. And I feel so awful about that because to this day, amends haven't been made with some of those people. I haven't talked to them in a long, long time. And I just feel so awful about that I scared these people, spooked them. I don't know how to start. And I think I'm at a point now that's been so long, like, do I even need to start? Like that ex-girlfriend I was telling you about, she, like, is there really any point in me being like, teehee, sorry, mental breakdown for like a year? Like,
maybe not. Maybe
like,
not
you're
like
like, there's no point in reaching out because I haven't, like, we've had like cold conversation of like small talk every now and then because we see each other in person on that senior year, like every day. But it's so embarrassing to admit, but I also I feel so awful, and there's no way to say sorry to these people. And I think in my heart now, I know it's best that, like, I don't know if I'd say let it go, because like like I said, I grieve this every day. That's how I took the breakup. I took it like I was grieving my wife for some reason.
Yep.
Very alive person, outliving her best life.
You were grieving the relationship that ended.
Yes, but I was grieving it as if it's not that she broke up with me, it's that she died. That's
yeah, well,
because
she was no longer going to be in your life.
Yes, and it's very unlikely that she ever will now. That's why I'm like, is there any point in just being like, I'm so, like, distraught of just, like, the fact that I, like, publicly posted these weird, like, and I know it got to a point where it was like, dude, this kid's fucking weird.
We were worried about you.
I dated this kid for a month. Like, damn, what the fuck is this kid talking about?
Well, I don't think time really matters. And you alluded to it a little bit earlier, but you know, you're only so old, and you know, for somebody who's like 60, a month is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're younger, any amount of time is significant,
Yeah.
especially when you feel so strongly about somebody.
Yeah, and I've kind of the way I look at it now is you're going to have relationships to build off of, and people are experiences.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm looking at it right now, even though I
Sure.
haven't dated anyone since. That's
Sure.
probably how I should look at it. And I think you probably have an interesting perspective because you've been with Jessica for like, what, 10 years?
It'll be 10 years married this year.
And so you guys, did you guys meet in high school?
We met when I was 16.
So you guys are like high school sweethearts, I guess. Or did
Essentially.
You guys, so
Essentially, yeah.
you were, so it was kind of like, you have everything I want.
You have no idea how bad that is. Listen, man, I think, well, number one, we saw your post, and me and Preston would talk about you.
Preston?
Oh, yeah. We'd be like, is he good? Like, we're looking at it like, probably not, right? But also, none of us ever really, you always, you had this habit of always being the goof. You never really did what we're doing right now, ever having like little one-on-ones, heart-to-hearts and stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you did, you at least didn't do it in a way where it was obvious to us.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. We'll see. What's crazy is that the fact that I've wanted to do this show for that long. But then again, if I didn't wait, I wouldn't have this conversation. Because like, how many people do Down to Earth twice?
Austin's done it 3 times, Nick's done it twice, and maybe one other person.
I was expecting you to be like, no one.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
A handful.
I've only seen a couple of Down to Earths. I think I saw one with Nick like years ago.
Yeah, the show's evolved for sure.
But also something that's really interesting is, you know, that time I came on, I said I wasn't really like into it. That was like fresh out of like, not fresh out of, I was fresh into this like dip.
Right.
And I remember like it was like so close. I think the day was July 3rd. It was a Sunday. Yeah. Judy, the show's on Sunday.
Yeah.
The day was July 3rd, 2022. And
you fucking Rain Man, dude. Keep going, sorry.
So I'm sorry. I forgot where I was, honestly. So I was talking about the show. Shit, dude. This is so much to keep up with. I don't know how I do this. I do this to myself every day for how long?
Well, see, and what I was gonna say is like, you know, me and Preston even talked about reaching out to you, but again, we never really felt like we got in there. So it was like, what are we gonna say that's gonna mean anything? You know what I mean? That's how we felt about it.
Because it's like I worked with you guys like a year
Right.
ago.
Right, exactly. And like, but that's the thing though, is like, in the same way that you can't pretend to be older, I can't pretend to be younger. And you know, you talked about a lot about you know, do you even reach out anymore? And let me tell you, I apologize to people for things that I did 15 years ago that I probably haven't talked to in a decade. Most of them did not either did not respond or responded poorly. But I needed to apologize for myself to keep moving. Now, granted, my whole thing was alcoholism. This is a little different, but I think the point still stands. I think ultimately, if you feel some type of way about wanting to apologize, then you should.
Well, it's not just the apology because I'm selfish. It's still like I'm grasping for that closure. I'm like,
Well, I think that is closure though, and also I think I never apologized for them. Not a single one of them I apologized for them.
Isn't that what I would be doing though, or would I be apologizing for my posts? I don't know.
I think you'd be apologizing for yourself because you want that closure and you want to apologize for the way you behaved. And I'm sure you would prefer to have an honest conversation with them through that apology, but ultimately I think you'd feel better if you apologized.
Something that like really cuts me up. Like I said to this day, like I still think of these people and I still love all these people. This ex-girlfriend specifically, it's always about a girl, I know, but it's always how all this shit starts. But it's in my head, like I'm still like when I think about her, I think about not all the time, but a majority of the time I think about when we were together, but she's so much different now.
Interesting.
We're both very different people. She probably wouldn't have left me if I was an MMA legend. Am I right? If I had abs to show off. But then again, I wouldn't have that without her. Without her fucking wrecking me.
It's a real paradox there.
I know.
Yeah.
Abs, hot girlfriend.
Hey.
The things to think about. In high school, you know how
It's
big
tough.
of a deal this is.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Well, dude, honestly, like here's one of the things that I've adopted. I heard it from Austin, but Austin Evans used to tell me, and I didn't get it for a while, because like when I started working at Cardinal Town, the amount of bitching that college students do is on a next level, and I'd sit there and be like, you're going to college. Like, you have all of these things that are afforded to you, all of these opportunities that are afforded to you. How are you bitching this much? There are people who can't even eat today. There are people who don't have a house today. But Austin would always remind me, the worst thing that's ever happened to you is still the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
This is the guiltiest example I have of bitching, and it's off topic, but when I came out here today, when I come out here, I like to get boba just because there's nowhere else, and
You get boba?
I'm a white girl at heart.
No shit.
I was getting white girl wasted, dude. I'm not joking. I had Panera bagels this morning. Oh. I know.
Oh,
They've got me.
They've got me.
I literally listened to Olivia Rodrigo, like, unironically. I'm not joking. Like, it's terrible. Dude. I was singing SZA at work. no shit. I was skipping.
You were skipping? Wait, how are you? How is a sad motherfucker skipping?
I'm not sad anymore. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I woke up.
That's a great sign.
I'm telling you, I was like, dude, like, my fucking old friend died and now I can skip. Fair trade, am I right?
I'd kill that motherfucker every time.
I'm joking. I'm sorry, Nathan.
My brother recently died. You want me to make a joke about that? That way you feel better?
Actually, I forgot to mention this. Like I said, this writing I made a couple days after is actually very good. But we didn't find out until after we met that we're actually related. We're first cousins.
Oh, the kid who died.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that because I'm not close to my family.
Well, that makes sense because you guys knew each other so early, right?
Yeah. We met at preschool.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't live with my dad when I was that young. But his mother is my dad's sister.
Crazy.
I'm just not connected with any of my family.
Right.
So that was really not nuts, bonkers.
What's this bitching?
Huh?
What's this bitching? This worst example of you bitching before you?
Oh no, it was. Oh yeah. It was driving. I had my fucking boba, and I was like, dude, why is everyone driving so weird out here? No turn signals. Like, what's in the water out here that's not Xanax and antidepressants? Like, something's fucked up on Bardstown.
Well, that's true, but also, that's
like half the people are homeless, but also living in their like 2023 Toyota. Like, it's crazy.
It is. Well, that's a lot of motherfuckers. I lived in my Crown Vic for a while. Actually, more accurately, I lived in Jessica's car, her little SUV.
How sweet.
We put the seats down and we laid blankets. It was freezing. It was awful.
I don't know where I was going to leave off. I forgot where we were even talking about.
Before this?
Before all the bitching and white girl boba shit.
Oh, well, apologizing.
Yeah.
Tell me you're fucking sorry, bro. No, not here. This is not the theater. If you want to, though. But, only if you want to. If you think you would gain something out of it.
I don't know what I would gain, it's just the fact that I still think about these people every day. This lady specifically, and if she sees this, she's gonna be like, "What a fucking creep! He's still talking about me."
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost certainly.
You fucking destroyed me. I'm sorry, but I'm using this platform to capitalize on it.
Right. Who wouldn't? Yeah. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't use this massive stage I've just handed you?
Yeah.
Just this enormous microphone.
Yeah, and dox their name.
Yeah. Do it
For the thousands of people that aren't watching to go to their Instagram. Like fucking when a girl sings about her exes, they all go to the Instagram.
Let me tell you something. When did you delete everything on your Instagram?
It's just archived. This was, I think it was actually, I think it was around September.
Okay.
Because last year. Because
then I found out way late.
Because she actually did message me afterwards.
Really?
This is the only. I think this is like the only real message she sent me. But I remember she sent me a message, and I was just in my room. I was actually like about to go to sleep. I think it was like 7:01 or some shit like that. Yeah, I was just like
It was 7 or 1.
No, 7:01.
Oh.
Or 7:04, some shit like that. It was
In
like
the afternoon.
Yeah, it was like evening, and I had like school.
Christ.
September 4th, I think. Anyways, I was just so fucking sleepy for some reason. Sleepiest man alive. And I got the notification, and in my head, my fucked up head, I wasn't in a good state. This isn't a stable state at all. It's embarrassing to look back on, but like this is like someone that is clearly mentally ill. I was like, you fucking messaged me, bro. And so I went to the gym of all places. I was like, I need to get a good pump in to think about this.
Did you read it first?
No, I was like, I'm gonna open it, and I don't even know if I opened it until like the next day or something. But I was like,
were you just trying to be aloof?
What does that mean?
You saw it immediately, right?
Yeah. Oh,
you saw the notification.
So,
and you were like, oh, I can't open that right now.
No, I didn't open it because I was scared, because I didn't know. In my head, that's why I mentioned the mentally ill thing. I was like, she's finally gonna get back together with me.
But I feel like why wouldn't you open it immediately then?
Because it was like a 50-50 shot of, hey weirdo, keep my fucking name out of your mouth, or oh my god, I'm still in love with you.
Okay, hold on, wait. You got to explain something before. I want you to finish. Like, you went to the gym, right? That's where you left off. But because I'm a little confused. Was she part of the 8?
Yes.
Or okay, so she's part of the 8.
I have these people like cemented in my brain. I'm just figured I wouldn't say it on air.
Right.
Like all their names and all that.
Right. Don't.
Shout out.
Don't do it. You'll regret that.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm not gonna edit it out.
Ooh. Dirty bastard.
Yeah. So she was part of the original 8 that you were referring to earlier. How the
yes, but
8 people.
Because like we weren't super close friends beforehand.
Oh, okay. So she got in to the 8 because of that. Are all okay? Maybe explain this for me. These are all eight people plus you that all hang out together, or they're all
not entirely. Actually, at one point, like 6 or 7 of us did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like consistently, or
but
just
actually,
like one time.
That's funny because she pretty like consistently.
Oh,
like,
okay.
When we had like big events or whatever, like big football game, we'd all get together. But it's funny, like right after that happened, she actually started getting close with the girls in the group.
Mm.
So the group was still going on, but I ain't in it. I was like,
well, that explains it.
That was like a big flip. I was like,
yeah,
damn, these few people hold so close to me. It just kind of traded me. That's how it felt.
Well, in
that's
that
not
case,
at all how it was. It's just how it felt.
Right. Well, it probably had something to do with it, if I had to guess.
So, honestly, this is gonna sound so fucked up, but like, I think I boosted her clout in the high school social game, because
you were right. That sounded fucked up.
No, I think it did, because she was like a cheerleader or whatever, and like, just, like me, a fucking nerd, talked about fucking Harry Potter, and she singed The Greatest Showman fucking song in my car. I don't know what that shit is. That's nerdier for me. Anyways.
Yeah, you really propelled her to the top of the food chain with your...
No, it's not even that. It's just the fact... It's not because of me. It's just because I don't know if I'd say introduced, but like first brought her around these couple people that like we always hang around with.
Okay.
And to me, all that social clout is these people.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
And I mean, my friend group, I wouldn't say like we're the popular kids. I don't know if there are the popular kids, but like the people know like this is the group that hangs out.
Right.
Okay. So fucking stupid. This is like high school bullshit. I'm out of high school.
It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. You're not that far removed from high school. You're a stone throw away, homie.
Dude, so we're leaving. So like,
so you
out.
Well, so you went to the gym before you opened the message.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was just because I was like, I needed to think about. It's not even like I was like I needed that clarity of like knowing what it was. Just I had to go from like, no, I'm not like a fucking meathead like that. I was just like, I need to stay awake so I could think about this. Dude, I tried those. If you remember,
I do.
a month and a half ago, I went like they wasn't even that bad. It just smells bad.
They're weak in comparison to like.
Hold on. A girl wanted him and he's seasoning. Get that shit away from me.
Oh, do it. Do it. What are you talking about?
I'm pussy. I'm pussy.
What do you mean?
Peer pressure.
You're fucking.
Dad pressure.
Fuck you.
Drink the fucking shot, son. Smell it.
Oh, if you were 21, I'd be pouring you one right now. I know you wouldn't drink it, but I'd still pour it.
But I opened it. I did open the message. I don't
At the gym?
No, I think I opened it when I got home.
Okay. So you got your fucking pump on.
Yeah, just I was just preparing. I was like, oh my god, she finally thinks something of me again. I'm finally worth the message, and it was like a long ass paragraph of just.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
no.
a long ass paragraph of just saying like, and a lot of it wasn't even true. It was a lot of like just hearsay. But it was like, and apparently you keep telling your friends about me, and I didn't like respond with like an argument because I didn't think it was worth it. There's no convincing here. Yeah. I actually just responded with saying, "I'm so sorry." I remember that because I was for that because some of the things were true, but not all of them. Anyways, like I didn't talk to my friends in like 3 months. What are you talking about?
Right.
Or like, just a bunch of like other shit. I don't even remember. It's in my phone somewhere.
But it was a mixture of things that were true and were not true.
Yeah, and things that were getting called out on, which the things that are true, rightfully so. Like obviously this person, I don't think they like thought like, oh, this dude is obviously mentally ill at this point. He's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
there's probably so much shit I'm leaving out, but it's just I figured it's just best to
like you
not
said
probably
earlier.
be perfect.
Like you said earlier, you're not this is really the first time you've spoken any of this out
Yes.
loud. So how could you have perfected it?
Yeah, I'm not putting pressure on myself to be perfect, which is so different for me.
Yeah. Well, because what I was gonna say is that we also weren't sure, like even because, and of course it was different because you hadn't gone through this like revelation, but even when you worked with us, we weren't sure if you were like mentally disturbed or just a weird guy.
Retarded.
No, I don't think. At least me, I didn't think you were retarded. You were like of average or above average intelligence. You were clearly like you were just a goofball, or you were fucking mentally disturbed. And we
I wasn't mentally disturbed in 2021.
Yeah,
I was on my prime shit.
Prime is the craziest thing you've said all day.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I'll take that back. Scratch that.
Even when I think I told, I don't know who I told, but like after maybe the first time I invited you on the show, I was like, yeah, I invited Ben on the show because like, I don't know, he seems to talk well, but he's also like 4, so I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But then especially this last episode that we did where like it was clear that you had things more of substance to speak on. I was like,
yes.
Okay,
Because
let's do it. Let's schedule
I don't like this is the code switching thing. So like my friends they like this is the shit that goes on in my head all the time.
Right.
Like I hate to say like deep thoughts or like because I honestly think almost everyone is like capable of these thoughts, but and I'm gonna sound like such a fucking old man, but like I genuinely believe like short videos are like ruining the brains
I
of
get what
these
you're
people. Just a combination of other shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like people they don't realize how much time they're wasting. And even like I mean maybe I'm wasting my time on thought, but I have like all these ideas constantly and no one else like seems to want to talk about it because they're so caught up in other like bullshit.
Can I offer you a different viewpoint?
Yes, sir.
Don't do that.
Yes, boss.
The amount of people, and because when I was younger, it felt like the same thing. Like I had a lot of these like big ideas or deeper thoughts or like questions that were like worth contemplating and like actually giving some fair thought to. But everybody was always caught up in whatever the fuck was going on. Now that I think you're different in the fact that hit you now and that you're younger, but I think everybody's like that. The difference is like most people wait until like their early, like their mid-20s to where they're like they start to feel comfortable talking about it, because the amount of people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis that have deep thoughts is almost everybody. Like almost everybody I talk to.
I think that kind of feeds into the start of the common good thing. It's not necessarily that these ideas are good or bad. It's just saying like no one is like there's not many NPCs out there.
Yeah.
It's just the way we treat each other. It is like people don't socialize like with strangers anymore, and that's odd because that's my favorite conversations are like talking just with strangers, just like for like a short brief minute at a time.
Yeah.
And it's also because like you're never gonna see these people again probably.
Yep.
They're just strangers. You just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so rare. It's like usually, especially for my age group, I guess that's like generally like older people, I guess. Like if I'm like, I don't know, I'm never at a bus stop or like a bench or anything, but if I'm just like about my day and just like this old lady next to me, it's like a Forrest Gump type beat, like telling her about what I'm thinking about.
I was at a restaurant in Indianapolis, and I was walking out the door, and I overheard this lady like asking for a firefighter donation, which we do at, the store that we worked at every year on Halloween. I'm about to do it this year, so I stopped and I was like, "Oh yeah, we do it already." And it's like I will literally never see that old woman ever again. But you're right though, like. And it's something weird when like a stranger will treat you like a fucking human being and have a conversation with you. It's very strange, and some people are really caught off guard, and other people like embrace it really hard. And it always gives me energy when they embrace it and they give it back to you. I love that shit. I live for that shit.
It's just people, just like just talking to people. It's like you think it'd be so simple, but no one really seems to do it a whole lot anymore. Everyone's. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Everyone's like caught up, but and it's odd because I think I use my phone for 3 main things: my notes, my photos, and Spotify. There's like I listen to music, have some photos, and I write shit down. I'm not messaging people.
Really?
Yeah.
You suck.
But like they're not messaging me either. But like and a big thing, I don't like talking to people over the phone. Not like. I don't know if I would say it's like dehumanizing or whatever. I know a lot of people have that thought process. Like,
Do you mean on the phone or texting?
Both.
Oh, really?
If I want to talk to someone, I get it's easy to make plans on the phone.
Yeah.
Like meet up or whatever. But talking in person is just so much more my style, especially because you know how many people would say shit over the phone that they wouldn't say in real life. Like it's crazy, and I'm guilty of it.
Big time.
For sure. I'm guilty of it.
I hate texting. Hate it. I'll say something, and you can't hear the way I say it, so you have no idea what I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of miscommunication problems. So I prefer to call people. I hate even worse using any other messaging app other than an actual direct text message. Can't fucking stand it. I actively go against it. If somebody does it to me, I'm like, here's my phone number, bro. Just text me. I'll take a phone call. Outside of that, I really like any kind of actual conversation I want to have with a person. I'll wait until I see them. I will wait until I see that person. I am right there with you. So you're old, basically, is what it is.
I guess. I don't know.
You're an old soul.
I don't know how this shit sped up to me so fast. What got me?
You were forced to grow up at a young age because of your family issues. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud to you? My bad. Did I just like call you out like that?
I guess so, man. But it's true. It really is. Well, not entirely, but because like there's like I said, I'm still growing up in a lot of aspects, and just knowing I have to do that for myself. By the way, lady friend, we were talking about half this podcast. I bought that bitch a Lego set, and I told her, and then never saw her again, and I still have it. I haven't built it yet.
Build it, bro. Build it.
The reason I haven't built it is because I've been waiting for my friend that likes Legos to build it, but I can't fucking. get him here to build Lego. It's crazy because I bought him this giant Batman thing, like, and we still haven't finished it. It was like a year and a half ago. It was in
You
February.
just have it unfinished, like
It was in February 2022. It's in his house. I don't want it. It's like like I think it's like $250 or some shit.
Wow.
I liked my friends that much. I don't know why, because they're so fucking mean. Like, imagine me, but like dumb. So like me.
That's the craziest shit. You're like, I would really like to like reconnect with my friends. Also, they're dumb and they're
Well,
mean.
no, like, well, like the reason, like, they're different from me. And I feel like a lot, like, I have this strong sense that there are people for me somewhere.
There
like,
are.
I know there are, but it's like, where the fuck are you gonna find people talking about this shit?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like this is something I actually realized when I was just on a night drive like a month ago, and it kind of, I wouldn't say messed me up, but it just kind of made me like stop and be like, wow, that's super true. Is that when I hang out with my friends, we're all different people now. We've all known each other for years, and that's the sole reason we hang out.
Yeah.
Like, we have our own lives. Like, like they can act interested for like a couple minutes in something I'm into, but like they're doing that to be nice. Like, I know they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like like this point in time, like we only get together for the nostalgia of when we did have shit in common.
Yep.
In like 7th grade, when we were like, dude, Miss Barfield's so fucking hot. Like she's not, but whatever.
I think I may have said it to you when you quit. I know I say it to a lot of kids who worked for me when they're like, hey, I'm gonna be putting in my 2 weeks, like, and you can always tell that they're worried about how I'm gonna react. And I usually tell people, I may or may not have said it to you, but I usually tell people come and go.
It comes and it goes.
People come and
and
go.
it goes.
People come and go. And dude, it's true.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
just 100% true. And right now, and especially at your all's age, where you're changing a lot every like couple months, you're changing a lot, and you're really becoming. I am a much different person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? You're always going to be growing. So yeah, it makes sense that you're all just getting together for the nostalgia of it, but you're completely different people than you were.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes sense.
And actually, I remember the conversation. Of course, I remember it with you.
It's that little special.
Telling you, like, hey, I need to put in my 2 weeks. We were outside. I was cleaning the windows, and you were on your smoke break, and you were like, you were like super cool about it. You're like, okay, and I think you asked me why, and it's not that I wanted to quit at the time. I didn't. I loved noodles, and like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm older now, and like, I am glad that I got out of there because people get fucking stuck. And that's what I tell all the other like kids that I see in there whenever I go.
I tell them too.
Yeah, no, you told me. Yeah,
I know. I tell everybody.
Work here for like maybe a year. Get out.
Yeah.
And then,
Work here until you literally can find the first slightly better thing, and then go for that.
Yeah. But actually, something that was really fucked up. I don't know if you know this. So, I think you know that my stepmother works like next door.
Yeah.
That's okay. So she said, I already have something else lined up, and I'm not going to be working there anymore. You need to like quit. And she was telling me this for like a while actually, and I didn't want to bring it up, not because I was scared. I was never scared to tell you, because like I think we had a pretty decent relationship overall. It was just that like I didn't want to.
You're in denial.
It was the fact that like when I say like I was my prime time or whatever, like I had such a good thing going. Like I was doing really well in school for some reason. Like I had no clue why. I'd FaceTime one of my friends every night, or almost every night, and I'd work at Noodles on the weekend, and it was like I love this arrangement I have going on. And it's like, you know, are you familiar with what rosy retrospection is?
Is that like viewing things with like a rose-tinted glasses? Is it the same kind of thing?
I don't know what that means. But
Okay, explain.
It's like anything that happened in the past just seems so much better now.
Rose-tinted glasses.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. That. So like I'm sure there were definitely like stupid struggles at the time. Struggles.
Yep.
That don't fucking matter now. But
Yeah,
like
this conversation we're having right now, I really, really hope you listen to it in 5 years from now and you're like, fucking struggles.
Yeah.
I really hope that for you.
Dude, I hope I don't have kids.
I hope so too.
At this rate, I'm not.
Oh, keep going. Keep going. Sorry.
What was I even fucking saying? Oh yeah. So she said I already have something lined up. So I finally quit or whatever. And I had my last days. And she, like right afterwards, she started working at this new job, and it was right down the street, and that crushed me.
It's like you easily could have kept working there.
Like
Yeah.
it was literally on Hirschborn too, like the same street. It was just under the overpass. It just kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't even like an anger. Like I said, my relationship with my parents isn't great. And I don't even really get angry at them anymore. It's just I don't even know if I ever did. It just wasn't like, it just didn't even compute to be angry. Like I just kind of felt like set up to be teared down sometimes. So it's like it's just how the system works. I don't even try and like deny it in my head. But give me 1 second.
Dot the I, cross the T.
Carry the zero.
Yeah.
So it was just like it at the time, that arrangement I had going on, like it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Like ultimately I'm glad I got out somehow. But like I don't want to end up like fucking Ethan and Josh.
They're leaving.
They are? Well, how many people say they're leaving? How long was Aiden there? Was that his name, right? Aiden? How long was he saying I'm a leaving?
I'm gonna opt not to answer that question. No, I believe Ethan. I haven't really spoken
I like
to Josh.
Ethan.
So
Nice.
you're not aware. Brett quit.
Right. That's the lady you took position, right?
That was the lady that I wanted her position.
Oh wait, you didn't get it?
Yeah.
Is that where you gotta work tomorrow?
Yeah. So I was splitting time.
Must suck.
I was. Yeah, it was really, really hard not to drink. Yeah, I came into town and was like, so we're gonna go with an outside hire, and I'm not a violent person. Haven't been in a very, very long time.
You deserve that spot.
Thanks. I think so too. The
Crazy.
yeah, isn't that wild? I'm not a violent person. I haven't been in years. I let that part of me go. But like as soon as he was like, we're gonna go out with an outside, I went like that, you know, just like
Instinct.
I'm
brass
just
at heart.
I'll fuck you up. No, I can't.
My boy Ben on you.
I kid, but yeah, I was really upset. I was really bummed out. And I was splitting time between Cardinal Town and Plainview, and I was mostly at Cardinal Town. Austin was running Plainview, as you know. But I'm back now. I'm back at Plainview.
Wait.
Full time.
Wait, when? When did this start?
Last Tuesday.
I'm coming. I'm gonna start going there weekly. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that.
But anyway,
that's awesome.
that's why I know. Like I didn't know. Like I heard that Ethan might be leaving. I heard
He's
that
a good
Josh might
kid.
be leaving.
I don't know much about him, but he's
Yeah,
he's
they're
nice.
great kids. They're all great kids, man. I don't every person that isn't good, they don't last. Not working for me because I just don't schedule them. If you suck, you go.
Is that? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna make you say anything like that. But I was about to be like, is there any specific examples?
Plenty.
Yeah, let's not.
They probably know they are. They're probably not listening to this.
Devin?
Who? Yeah. So yeah, I believe Ethan's leaving. I think that's a good thing. It'll suck without him,
No,
but like it's 15 hours. Like
No, the only reason I brought them up specifically is because I know they're managers.
yeah, we'll be all right.
That's the only reason I said that. I have no animosity at all.
That motherfucker's kind of like you. He's going to college. He's playing in football and he's working at Noodles and Company and he's going to get his real estate license.
Sick.
I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what the fuck his issue. I wish somebody would tell both of you to
He
slow
has
the
a good
fuck
family
down.
life. I know that.
I don't.
His sister's hot.
Fucking
No,
hell.
I'm joking. No, I just remember joking on joking on him when he started about that.
I told Preston, I was like, that man is either going to accomplish great things or he's going to kill 37 people, and there's no in between.
No,
it is one of those
He's
two
gonna
things.
accomplish great things, or he's going to get a drinking problem. Dude, I saw this meme today. It was like 7th grade is so hard. I'm so glad I started drinking.
It's tough out here, man. That was my first homeschooled year. That was awful. Yeah.
The first time I tried alcohol was with this lady,
What?
girl.
You drank?
At a party.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
When did you drink?
February 4th.
Of course you remember. Of course you remember the exact date. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, we were just randomly at this like party, and like I said, I never really go to that shit. I just don't. I'm not like that. I don't like doing that.
Yeah, you're not popular.
But I was invited to my friend's thing, and I was like, fine, I'll go to her thing. So I was just doing whatever, just doing my thing. Fucking pong balls or whatever. Just
Beer pong?
yeah, but I don't drink. I didn't drink.
Oh.
But she had these drinks and she was like, want to try some?
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I love this lady. I got to. This isn't even pure
I was gonna
pressure.
say, because like you were just talking about how like you're not even caffeine,
Yeah.
and you're like literal poison.
Well, this is the only time I've drank, and but no, it was. This is so embarrassing. This is like the most embarrassing shit. Remember
This what are you gonna say?
This is. It's just so petty. Just
Okay.
remember, this is before my friend died.
Okay.
So when my friend died, that's when the flip switch. I was like,
Okay. All right.
let's be normal. But I was like, I was such a creepy weirdo. Oh my god. But I was like, shit, I could finally get these cooties back in my system because we were drinking.
You said that out loud?
No.
Oh, that would have been way worse.
No, I'm just like, shit. This is how we do it. This is how we get back in. It wasn't peer pressure. I was like, this is the method, and it was so stupid. I'm a dumb individual.
It's okay, buddy. We all are.
Oh, and this is a fucked up thought I had. I drove home that night, and it's not like it was a ton of alcohol or anything, but I was.
How much did you have? Wait. That's the wrong question for me to be asking. Yeah, that was the wrong thing for you to do.
So, anyways,
I'm sober.
this was a really fucked up thought I had. You ready for this? I thought, I'm driving right now. Wouldn't it just be a coincidence? I don't know if I want to say this on here. If I fucking died. So she would feel guilty for giving me the alcohol and driving home.
Wait, were y'all together still?
No.
What? I don't understand.
This was afterwards. So, I might have to ask you to cut this out. It's just so funny. You know what? No, but it's just this wasn't my current mindset. Just remember this. So
Yes, yeah.
break up. Next September, I get that message. Next February, so this is almost a whole year. We're at this party, and this is the first time we was like really talking. We were like talking in person, just like small chat. And that's when we started sharing alcohol, and I was like, okay, well,
You let. Now I think I understand.
I was thinking. I only had this thought for like a fraction of a second,
Right,
But it
right,
was like my most toxic thought ever. That's why I was like, dude, I have to say this. I just thought about it. But yeah, I had like for a split second, I thought,
That toxicology report's coming back.
dude, that would be crazy.
But you're better now.
Yeah, no, I'm so great right now. But dude, imagine if, because they have to do an autopsy under a certain age. Imagine they're like, you have blank blank blank's herpes in your system.
And you're underage, so any amount over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I just want to clarify. I wasn't like, that wasn't like my drive.
You were
home.
trashed.
It was just.
You were fucking trash.
It was just for like a split second.
You
I
drank
was
3/4 of a bottle.
oh no. No, it was just for a split second. I was like, I could make this bitch feel guilty forever for what she did to me.
He's better now.
We're good. We're good. Wait, I know we gotta end soon.
Yeah.
But I have to ask. Can I see the questions in your phone? Or like, can you say them to me at least?
They're
like,
not good.
Like quick fire.
Sure, I'll pick a couple.
I remember a couple years ago you said that you might like get numbers of my friends and like.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that, but I was like, fuck those guys.
Yeah. What I normally do is, or what I used to do, I stopped doing it because the last 4 interviews I've had, nobody got back to me. So I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it anymore.
Wait, Down to Earth?
Yeah. The last 4 episodes of this that I've done, I would ask people for their number, for their friends' numbers. I would reach out to their friends, and their friends wouldn't get back.
I see what you mean.
This was actually funny as hell. One of the questions was, do you believe in love at first sight? Things like, who are you most thankful for? Who are the people that you trust? You know, all these things that are hilarious now. Do you love yourself? What is the ideal version of yourself that you want to be?
That's a crazy question. Do you love yourself? I've been saying this shit for a while.
What do you mean? That question?
That's a stupid fucking thing to say. I hear people are like, love yourself. It's like, what are you gonna do? Throw yourself a fucking birthday party? Like, what do you mean love yourself?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
so fucking stupid.
Why?
Do shit you like. You don't have to love yourself. Fucking
Yeah.
narcissist.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Throw yourself a birthday
There's a healthy amount of it, just like everything. You know, you can have 1 slice of chocolate cake, but if you eat 30 of them, you're a crazy person. I don't like cake. I don't like cake. It's because I eat 3 steaks. It's because I like cow a lot. Which one event in your life
Dude, I
has
almost
been
said the most fucked up joke. You
not
could
funny?
probably think of that.
Which one event in your life has been the biggest so far? What would you like to be the what would you like to be the experience you want to share your mentees or children?
Mentees.
Yeah.
Oh.
How far do you think you are from achieving your biggest dream? You know, kind of cookie cutter questions. But I tried to pick ones that are like more geared towards somebody who's growing up, I guess, is really what.
How long did it take you to write all those up?
Most of them I had prepared.
Like for this?
I have a long list of questions, and they're grouped together by like subject matter, and then I just copy and paste whichever ones I think would actually work well. So not long.
I thought you were gonna be like, I wrote this up 30 seconds while my kids were eating dinner.
No.
While you were on your car. Dude, I was listening to fucking Radiohead in my car. It was just like,
Nice. No, dude, because the thing is like, again, because of the last 4 episodes, not you, because I didn't even bother asking, but the last 4 episodes, and also the one before this one, was my grandmother. I obviously didn't ask to reach out to her friends. I'm good on that.
she died 3 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was a great episode. Like it was awesome. It was I got to talk to her a lot about like history and things like that, and you know, so that was cool. But no, a lot of it was just kind of stuff that I had prepared, but I knew I don't want to do this show with people I don't think can do the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like again, if this was the first time you came on Thoughts from the Mothership, and I was like, yeah, we could do it down to earth. And then, like, behind closed doors, I'm like, how the fuck would I pull that off with this kid who wants to talk about sea turtles with Lindsay? Like, I don't.
At a time.
Like, it was an awesome episode for
was.
Thoughts.
It was, yeah.
For Thoughts from the Mothership. But for this show, it didn't. But then again, last episode, I was like, okay, all right, there's some substance there. There's some actual thought process going on. We can actually have a conversation. And you've always been good at talking. I was just worried about, like, what was going to actually be of substance to the episode.
Just a quick question for a recap. What did you expect this episode to be? Because I feel like this isn't necessarily, like, all of it isn't exactly what you thought it would be.
Here's what I thought. I thought I would get out one question, and you would contemplate the answer, because you're good about that. You're good about contemplating the actual question. That's actually one of the highest compliments I could actually pay you, is that you really take in the question and you think about it, and you try to give a thoughtful answer, for the most part. If it's something dumb, then maybe not. But so I thought that I would maybe ask you a question, and you'd think about it for a second, and then you'd give an answer, but then you'd give caveats to those answers, and then we would kind of discuss that based on that.
Is caveats like variations? I don't understand
Yeah.
what that word is. Okay.
Yeah, like this unless this.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I thought, and then I thought like maybe I'd get through like 5 or 6 questions, but because of how long it would take for us to get, that's how I figured it would go.
Gotcha.
But you came in just ready to fucking trauma dump, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I needed that. Dude, imagine like just a year and a half of stress of your life, just like, just ejaculated out in like 1 hour.
So this has been down to earth.
Yeah. Love you, brother.
Let that be the last thing this man says. Like and subscribe, leave a rating, all that stuff. Thanks, man. Thanks for doing this.
Sure.